that you're doing it real. Say who you be who you are. Them haters gon' hate and it's all regardless. Positive or negative, enemy or friend or foe or relative. So say what you.
What's good, family? To the Big Money No Problems Talk podcast show, episode 3. I'm Chuck. You already know I'm Chuck, aka Big Will, with my brother from another on that other side, AG, aka Mr. Indiana Jones. And on today's show, man, me and AG want to touch on that COVID-19 issue, as well as how it's affecting our communities. But also today we're going to introduce a new segment in our podcast, where we kind of we're going to call it the shaking my head moment. It's where we kind of touch on certain topics going on in the news cycle that we see that kind of cause us to shake our heads, and we kind of speak on them a little bit. So just stay tuned for that, man, as we move on through this, man. But AG, what's some of your early thoughts, man, before we go ahead and have this discussion about the COVID-19 and its effect on our communities?
Hey, man, I'm actually kind of torn, man. You know, I mean, we in a situation right now, bro, where it's kind of like, you know what I mean, just discombobulating us, man. You know, I mean, this corona shit is crazy. And, you know, even with the conspiracy theories, you know what I mean, how we react to it, our mental, you know what I mean, capacity and preparedness for it, man, it's really unprecedented. That's the word I want to use, unprecedented.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Because just to kind of piggyback on what you're talking about, man, it's just kind of crazy the way the world is just moving right now. I'm going to be honest, man, I never thought I'd see something like this in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? To where disease would kind of change the way we actually move up in here. And to be honest with you, a lot of the things that they asking us to do is shit that we should be already doing any damn way. You know what I'm saying? In terms of taking care of yourself and how you supposed to be washing your hands and, you know what I'm saying, not coughing in people's faces and everything like that. It's kind of crazy.
That's where the kind of theoretic conspiracy thing, you know, with me kind of falls into play, man. You know, this is it's automatic, you know what I mean, kind of like common sense. You know what I mean? Things that we should already be practicing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Especially, man, with the and forgive me for going off on the tangent, but I mean, especially, remember, when we already have influenza. You know what I mean? We've had H1N1. You know what I mean? This is all things that we know about. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you can't help but to wonder, but you'll wreck your brain trying to figure it out, because you can never really figure out what's in store when somebody else has something planned for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's the kind of, man. It's crazy. So that's kind of like our early thoughts, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to how we really feeling right now when it comes to this COVID-19 disease that's out there. But it's crazy because we, on this show today, we just want to talk about how it's really, you know what I'm saying, affecting the community, you know what I'm saying, as a whole. And I'm talking about our African-American communities, because it's hitting us a little harder than most. And it's sad that it's hitting us, but at the same time, you're seeing exactly the disparities from an economic standpoint, healthcare standpoint. All that is being highlighted right now. And it's funny to look at the news, how people kind of having this vibe like, yeah, it's a shock. How's it a shock, man? Y'all been disregarding our community forever. So I want to understand how this shit is a shock to people. It's going through.
It's weird because, I mean, speaking on the disparities, man, I mean, like, you telling people to stay in the house, which, you know what I mean, it's like unheard of. Exactly. And, you know, as rebellious as we are, you know what I mean, it's amazing. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see online that, you know what I mean, some of the people ain't staying inside. You like, damn, okay, but y'all can't sit y'all asses down. You know what I mean? That's why the shit gonna keep on going and keep on going. But to be honest with you, I'm amazed with the number of people that are really following suit. You know what I mean? And really got these masks on. I mean, like, you got even the hood niggas, the hood cats outside, you know what I mean, with masks on.
I mean, when you're looking at the news every day, at that ticker of cases and deaths going up, it kind of puts it in reality and light. Like, you got to really start taking care of yourself, and it kind of move into that. You know what I'm saying? I was reading the Washington Post, and they kind of had a list of 4 reasons why it's hitting our community so hard. And just to kind of touch on them, so I'm gonna list all of them, but we go kind of touch on each one. You know what I'm saying, separately. But the first one, which is what,
and I ain't gonna lie to you, Chuck. Hey, I'm gonna be a little bit of a devil's advocate in this conversation.
I got you. I got you.
I ain't gonna lie to
you. Just to kind of talk about like the first one when they talk about like the higher rates, you know what I'm saying, of underlying health conditions and less access to care. I mean, that's facts. I mean, when you look at how we only make up 13% of the population in the United States of America, but over 52% of us got this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting crazy. And then one more thing before we start to really discuss a little bit more.
But that's coming from the fact of, hell, you know what I mean? People with higher melanin.
Exactly.
didn't catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then to kind of talk about it a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? I just looked up something on Politico when they was talking about how we make up, you know what I'm saying, disproportionate numbers of, like I said, 52% of diagnosis, but 58% of coronavirus deaths nationally, which is crazy. But to kind of go back into it, I mean, we've been having issues with healthcare from as long as I can remember. Like when you're not given a certain access to certain jobs with the benefits of what you need to actually be able to maneuver in this world. I mean, that's gonna always be the problem. And then you got this administration. Then you got this administration right now basically trying to demolish it from what, you know what I'm saying, at least federally what they was trying to do with this with the Obamacare. So it's kind of crazy. What's your thoughts on it?
It sounds like population control to me, to be honest with you, in a certain fashion. You know what I'm saying? Man, again, you know what I mean? Like I said, I might play a bit of devil's advocate with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I cannot minimize, and you know what I mean, my remorse for anyone that's had to, you know what I mean, witness somebody a death or even suffer, you know what I mean, through someone, you know what I mean, suffering through, you know what I mean, just having the case of the actual COVID-19 or whatever, you know what I mean? But at the same point in time, I can't help but to wonder, where are these numbers coming from? And imagine, you know what I mean, imagine what I'm saying. It's like what, 72,000 something odd deaths or whatever, you know what I mean? And this is a, you know what I mean, a great pandemic. Mm-hmm. But man, we see refrigerant trucks. We see, you know what I mean? When I look up the images and whatnot online, all I see a bunch of empty beds. I don't see a bunch of dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't really, you know what I mean, say that these numbers are correct. You know what I mean? I can't.
But you can't, I mean, in a way though, it's almost like you can't really expect them to kind of put just showing bodies all over the, especially on regular TV. Like,
when haven't they? When haven't they though? You know what I mean? Shit, hey, when Brad Sparrows come across, they have never let us down. Hey, this is going on. You know what I mean? Hey, they show people bleeding out the eyes, and you know what I mean.
But that kind of ties into what you're talking about a little bit. I just had a thought in my head because, you know, in terms of media, when we're trying to control a certain narrative about a situation, that's something that they really don't want to put out as shit. Now, when you talk about wars and all that stuff, and you seen that shit on TV, when they showing, you know what I'm saying, what's going on over there, that's the narrative they want to put out to show how fucked up that shit is. You know what I'm saying? In terms of fighting overseas and wars. But here, I'm hearing the president right now call this a war, but you don't want to show the effects of what's going on with this war.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy to me, like, how we picking and choosing that narrative when it comes to that. And like I said, when it comes to our community, the African-American community, it's almost like we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to show that. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing these one-off shows where we kind of have a conversation about it. And then it's like, all right, let's talk about something else. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy how we just get constantly, even in the pandemic, we still getting constantly moved to the side. And it's just kind of crazy to me, like, why is that? You know what I'm saying? What you thinking? Like, why is that?
I mean, it's like it's like this, man. Ignorance has no color, but you know what I mean. There's been a solid color placed on ignorance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
We don't. I don't think that we take the proper, you know what I'm saying, the proper research. We just kind of go off of face value. You know what I mean? Okay, we take a little something. You know what I mean? All right, that's what they said. You know, all right, but shit, it's been going down my Facebook timeline. You know what I mean? This was going. Hey, people dying, Joe. You know what I'm saying? People dying out here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, well, I read something earlier where they said, you know what I mean, fear is the ultimate paralytic. You know what I'm saying? That can paralyze people. Because at the point when you incorporate fear into people, they no longer think for themselves.
That's how you control the world.
Right. And so that's what we are doing right now. You know what I mean? It's that fear. It's being fed to us by the news, by the mayors, by the governors, by social media. You know what I mean? People are out here dying. You know what I mean? So I don't think that we're responding to it properly because we're just we're all living out of fear. And then it's even more hectic because this situation is making us deal with our own realities. The hardest reality on earth to deal with is your own reality.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now we're forced to be at home. We're forced to, you know what I mean, deal with all the things that's making us unhappy, making us. It's no secret that the predominant, you know what I mean, black communities, I mean, hell, are miserable.
Exactly. And that kind of ties into the second reason a little bit when you're talking about that, where it says Black Americans hold a lot of essential jobs. I'm trying to figure out, like, how is holding a lot of essential, like, what are these essential jobs that's causing our percentages of this disease to be high? Because I'm like, it's a lot of
fast food warehouses.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are these? That's what y'all consider essential jobs, like, for us, like this, and that's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Essential can easily be equated to dispensable.
Exactly, man. For our listeners out there, man, let us know, because I really don't know what half of these essential jobs. But the only people that I'm seeing considered essential is medical.
Yeah,
I know we got Black people who do that, but at the same time, it's like, what's these other ones?
I mean, you know, medical and skilled trades, you know what I mean? You still need your plumbers. You still need your electricians. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But hell, you know what I mean? Your plumbers and your electricians are not predominantly Black.
Exactly. And doing this, you ain't allowing them people in your house any damn way.
Right. I think I seen a cable man doing the install. He was in a full Tyvek suit with the, you know what I mean, with the respirators and every damn thing. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, man. So it's just kind of, that's why when I looked at that, that one kind of had me puzzled a little bit. I was like, we Black Americans hold it. Yeah, you talking about we probably hold a lot of the bullshit jobs.
That's what
you know what I'm saying.
I mean, man on the totem pole.
Exactly.
Man on the totem pole. You know what I mean?
But that's the way this society. That's how they did it. That's how they portray us, and that's how they put us there. They put us there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of crazy on that. So in the third one, they kind of talked about, which I believe is true, and this kind of ties into what you were talking about as well, as insufficient information. That's facts, because we don't really get a lot of the real information. Like you said, some people, they take what's on Facebook as face value. Some people would take what's on Instagram as face value. Like these social media outlets.
I seen 10 people posted, so it got to be true.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? 10 people posted. It's going all down my timeline. You know what I mean? So that shit got to be true.
And that's kind of crazy right there within itself. You get what I'm saying? So I think about it too. The only thing you put in our neighborhoods is the liquor stores, carry-outs, and all that stuff. So when you talk about things of that nature, of course we don't have sufficient information being put out.
It threw me off when they said, hey, you know what I mean, the liquor stores and the weed dispensaries will still remain open because they are essential businesses. Hey, I guess essentiality is relative now.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about that, man. You know what I mean? You already know, hell, every, you know what I mean, shit, every 2 blocks is a liquor store. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I know up here in Chicago, I live in the South Shore area. I mean, we got a weed dispensary up here, you know what I mean? And the lines stay wrapped around about 2-3 blocks. So, hey, you forced to sit in the house, you know what I mean? Your highlight is going to the grocery store, going to the liquor store, you know what I mean? Either you going to holler at, you know what I mean, little cousin them and grab a sack, or you going to go to the motherfucking dispensary, you know what I mean? But, hell, you still forced to be in a altered state of mind while you're dealing with this and being fed all of this information that you don't even know is true, or you know what I mean, what the you know what I mean, you have no idea what the ramifications around the information is. You know what I'm saying?
Because most of us don't have access to that resource pool. You get what I'm saying? So when it's like, when you hearing the stuff you hearing out here, like they say, it's almost kind of hard for you to want to believe it. And then, like I said, when you got the leader of this free world lying every day, it's like, what do you? I mean, what's your thought process on really wanting to believe anything anybody got to come out and say? You get what I'm saying? And it's not like, I mean, just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? We straight to the point on this show. It's not too many black politicians putting that word in either. You get what I'm saying? In these districts and neighborhoods that people vote, that you work for. People forget that.
I will give a shout out to Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, okay? And they give her a hellified hard time. You know what I mean?
I see them talking on the news over there. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah,
they give her the blue.
But when you talking about cities like that, same thing in DC, same thing in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Places I grew up at and everything like that. It's like when that disparity is kind of crazy. Is she looking at those same numbers like, well, I'm gonna sit here in the city of Chicago where majority of the population is African American, and I'm already seeing what this disease is doing to the community.
Right.
It's like she's in a lose-lose situation, because it's like, damn, I gotta open it up. You know what I'm saying, for the economic standpoint, but then I still gotta take care of the people.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of tough out here for.
So me and my uncle was talking about, you know what I mean, which I imagine that, you know what I mean, Lightfoot is kind of taking into consideration. You know, I property management, you know what I mean, landlords or whatnot, you know, and it's often a pun kind of placed on the Latin community that, you know, just kind of unfair, because we, you know, we do the same things too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I've walked into units where it may be a single mother or something. She applied for the unit, but hell, it's about 50, 11, you know what I mean, different people that's living in there. You know what I mean? They got a mattress in the kitchen, a mattress in the living room. You know what I mean? Aside from the 2 bedrooms that they might have, and I guess I'm saying it to say that you're telling people they can't go outside, and outside is like the coping mechanism for most people right now.
Facts. And that kind of ties into what you were just talking about, especially in your line of work, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the housing situations. Now when they talk about another reason is housing disparities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see that personally.
I mean, like, real deal. I mean, you got to think about the number of people that say, all right, when they get off work, as much as you hate to go to work, you still get off work, sit out in your car for about 30 minutes to an hour, because, you know what I mean, before you go in the house, you're trying to mentally prepare yourself to go in the house and deal with your own personal reality.
And that's facts, because you got to think about us, you know what I'm saying, growing up. It was times you'd be like, damn, when you growing up in the hood and you in that environment, coming from those ghettos, hoods, however you call them, wherever you from, you coming home from school, you looking at it like, damn, man, I'd rather be at the homie house who got a little bit more shit better than the way I'm living. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the reality no more because of this disease.
It's not.
Exactly what you're talking about.
And you done told people that, hey, now you can't go to work. So that, whether it was part-time to full-time, you know what I mean? That 4 to maybe 8 to 10 or 12 hours, that was your getaway. I don't care how much you complained about, I hate my job. Hey, you stepped into a different them small amount of hours, you stepped into a different reality and didn't have to deal with your own. Now you face to deal with your own 24/7.
24/7, and it's crazy. And that kind of, and like I said, that kind of goes into once again, you know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts now on this social distancing, man? That's everything what we've been talking about.
Oh no, me myself, I've been social distancing for a long ass time anyway. I don't get too close.
That's real talk though. But and it was crazy. It's crazy that they call it that when in actuality most people don't like people up on them any damn way. We know that's a hell.
You know what I mean? I don't. Hey man, why do I feel your breath? Man, you shouldn't be in arm's reach of me. You know what I mean? And you sure the fuck shouldn't be close enough to where you can swing on me. Goddamn it, you know what I mean? I mean, like for real. I've been social distancing for a long ass time because hey, shit gets kind of wicked out here.
And that was kind of crazy. Every time I hear that term and I see it, and I get it, man, and I know how you gotta portray it. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, man, I think people have been kind of living 6 feet apart for a long time, especially in communities, in our community. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean, you learn to kind of stay to yourself a little bit and understand what it's like. But I understand from a health standpoint, you got to put that out there to the people. And I respect that. But like I said, at the same time, I think that's just one of those common sense things out there, you know what I'm saying, that people should be doing. And
hey, before all this had popped off, bro, hey, it would irritate my soul for me to be in the checkout line at the grocery store.
Oh.
And somebody just kind of be right back, right up on my back. Hey, I'm turning around, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was like that.
I was like that. A couple of feet.
I was like that today. I'm up in the store getting something, and I'm like, damn, this person right behind me. I'm like, damn, I thought we was in social distancing, man. Back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of crazy. I mean, like, well, man, we ain't up on people like that around here. But like I said, you come from our environments, you learn like that. Like, I keep these people above. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even if nothing else, man, if COVID-19 wasn't popping off, goddamn it. Exactly. I mean, hell, the common cold. Don't pass your germs to me. I don't want it. You know what I mean? Pineapples, man.
Pineapples. That's what I'm saying, man. So that's why I say I look at what's going on when you're looking at this society as a whole, man. And when I keep seeing those numbers go up in terms of our community, the African American community, man, it's like, y'all been failing this forever. And I'm sitting here looking at, even during the pandemic, you still failing us. And at some point, man, it's you gonna keep getting the protesters. You gonna keep getting the issues and everything like that. Because like you was talking about and alluding earlier, man, even with the effects, like just kind of going into that too, with the effects like with the schools being closed, I was just relaying that to individuals about like, damn, people don't understand in our community, man, when you got a lot going on, growing up the way some of us was growing up, to some of the way these kids are still growing up in 2020. When you look at some of these neighborhoods, it's 2020, dog, and you still got the shit, and you hear these stories of these kids being the way they are. I said, dog, school, you took away an outlet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids go to school, but that's the only way they eat.
You did.
Some of these kids go to school. That's the only. I said, oh,
hey, and big ups to the school systems that still allow. I mean, the parents bring the kids up there to get school lunches and whatnot. You know what I mean? That's an amazing thing. But hell, them kids need that. You know what I'm saying? That them hours throughout the day. You know what I mean? Hey, it ain't no secret, man. We got a lot of unstable homes.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the time when the kids get a chance to get a glimpse of life outside of our, you know what I mean, of our unfortunate instability.
Exactly. Not at the fault of the kid. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with this disease and what it's done, man, and like I said, it highlights heavy the disparities that's going on when it comes to our communities. It's just like you don't have, like, these kids don't have all the games and all this. Like, outside was their only life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Now you
Well,
take.
I do have to say that they do have. Hey, one thing about these kids now, hell, if they playing games on a cell phone or whatever, you know what I mean. You know, technology is the era for our kids now. Now they do play
But you gotta think about it though. In some of these communities, man, some of these kids growing up in those communities don't even have access to shit like that.
Indeed.
And that was kind of like the thing I was talking about when they was trying to do the online schooling and everything like that. So even when they started to do that, I really started to hark back a little bit like, damn, when I grew up, I didn't even know, even though it wasn't heavy like that, but I didn't have internet. Nigga, I ain't get internet in my home, nigga, until I was like in high school. So now you talking about
that AOL, that dial-up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't had none of this shit until then. So now you talking about kids in the situation that we live in, coming up in these neighborhoods who don't have access to that. So now, once again, from a societal standpoint, you putting our race back.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of fucked up in a way.
Even though they supply, you know what I mean? Okay, which you know what I mean, kind of scrambles me a little bit because how we just able to apply, you know what I mean, just access Wi-Fi just out the blue now, you know what I mean, that we didn't have to pay for, you know what I mean? But hey, so be it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same point in time, even with the Wi-Fi access, a lot of them, you know what I mean, hell, in our community, you see these beautiful commercials where, hey, this is the new norm, and you know what I mean, little excuse my, you know what I mean, not trying to, you know what I mean, target any culture, but you know what I mean, little Sally Sue, she's sitting there with her tablet, and she's, you know what I mean. A lot of us, hell, we trying to, you know what I mean, still trying to operate off of Obama phone, you know what I mean. Okay, I can get the you trying to set that little phone up, you know what I mean, and trying to see what your teacher's saying, you know, because you don't have a tablet, you don't have an iPad, you know what I mean,
or a computer, or anything,
you know what I mean, like real deal, you know what I'm saying. So along with that internet access should have came with some technology stimulus.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I always thought like from a standpoint, what school should have been doing is, hey man, just give access for these kids. If they got something they need to do, access the laptops, access if need be, then y'all can wipe them down or do what you got to do after the fact, the way y'all do everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I can literally walk in some of my, you know what I mean, some of my homeboys' houses, and then not be a freaking laptop or a tablet or, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean. Unfortunately, some of them might have, but you know what I mean. Everybody can't, you know what I mean, get on that level. You can't just go out and spend this on the tablet.
Nah.
What I need a tablet for when I have to do everything off my phone. You know what I mean? But now that it's needed.
Exactly.
And then once you start, you know what I mean, becoming tech savvy, I mean, hell, you know what I mean? It's some things you can do on an iPad that you can't do on a Microsoft Surface. You know what I mean? Some things you can do on a Surface that you can't do on an iPad. You can't do on either one of them. You can't do everything that you do on a laptop.
And that kind of ties into the economic question. You know what I'm saying? Engaging. When we talk about what's going on. Now, I had a whole bunch of issues when it came to this stimulus package that these people was talking about. And I keep saying these people because these politicians, man, I don't consider, they ain't doing that. So when I say these people, that's what I'm talking about. So I had issues with these people when it came to that package because I'm sitting here thinking to myself in our community alone, that shit ain't covering the bills. that little $1,200, that little whatever. I'm not, and put it like this, I'm not demeaning it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not demeaning it. I'm not saying anything like that. But if you expecting that type of money to help out with some of these individuals, single mothers, single fathers, people having to handle business, you got a lot of issues in the household and this, that. You think that money, and then you check, that money ain't helping nobody, not for a month.
Now, by chance, if they would have actually granted that moratorium on the rent and the mortgage that they were speaking about initially, they kind of just somehow vanquished. You know what I mean? They were speaking about the moratorium on, you know what I mean, on holding back on the rents and the mortgages and whatnot, but I mean, what was $1,200? What's this?
What's that gonna do? When your motherfucking bills is more than that.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I mean? Hey, shit, I know. You know what I mean? It's folks that, you know what I mean, they rent is $1,200.
you get what I'm saying? Now how I'm putting food on the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How I'm paying these lights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, if that moratorium was, you know what I mean, was truly placed and you can use that for, you know what I'm saying, food and nourishment, then, okay, yeah, hey, we're talking about something. We're in the money on that one.
Exactly. So it's just kind of crazy, man, when it comes to all that shit, man. That's why I just sit back. Sometimes it just, when I think about that, and then I'm hearing these dudes talking about, man, we need to take a pause on giving money out. The fuck you mean take a pause on giving money out when you got people starving out here? Like, I don't understand it. And the thing is, your guidelines is what's causing people not to be able to work, but you don't want to take care.
Now, I will kind of say this, you know what I mean? I don't know the guy, you know what I mean? But what I would gather from that statement is because the U.S. gives nothing for free.
Hell nah. They gonna get it on the back end.
Yeah, they give nothing for free. And you know what I mean? And hell, we like damn near 2 years overdue for the recession, you know what I mean? Which is kind of, it's been stated that we're already in the recession now, you know what I mean? But they haven't made a big deal out of it because, you know what I mean, COVID-19 and whatnot, you know what I mean? So, you know, me myself, you know, I assume this to be the catalyst to you know what I mean, pop us off into it. You know what I'm saying? Because in all honesty, my firm opinion is this is just the beginning.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
This is just the beginning. You know what I mean?
It definitely is, because you can't expect people to just jump right back in there. Like, you talking about opening up the economy, you talking about opening up this, that, and the other. And like I said, how you tell a community that's getting hit the hardest with this disease, go ahead and go back to work. Take a chance on getting sick. Bring that shit back home to your kids, grandparents, because like you said, we come from societies where everybody in one household together. You get what I'm saying?
And we also come from a society where we still operate off corner stores.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Little side corner restaurants. You know what I mean? Well, especially like in Chicago or whatnot. You know what I mean? But a lot of the places are forced to close down. Yeah, they've been closed down for 2 months. Ain't made no money. They not opening back up.
Come on, man. And that's the crazy thing that people now forget. It's like they not understanding that. No, you can't expect people to all of a sudden just jump right back into doing something. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got people out here really who really should be worrying about their health, who should really be worrying about everything else that comes in terms of their health. And hey, go out, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, go back out there. Go do what you gotta do. But shit, my job ain't there for me no more. What else I gotta do? Yeah. And it's not like everything right now is on a hiring freeze. They throwing furloughs, everything out there. So ain't nothing you can do.
Dang. And then think about it like this, bro. Like, you know what I mean, with the technology era, you know what I mean, we have been put in placed in a position where everybody is forced to work from home. You think about them budget cuts when we can operate like that.
Fact. Man, that's what.
There are not going to be jobs available for people to come back after this. You know what I mean? But we realize that we can operate. You know what I mean, on a skeleton crew remotely. You know what I mean? We don't have to have this big ass facility that we're paying $3,000 a month in rent to rent this facility out for my business to grow.
Speak on it.
You know what I'm saying? We can already cut. It's going to be hellified cutbacks.
Speak on it.
That's you know what I'm saying? So you better utilize the unemployment while you get it and figure out what's next, because it's. We are in a new world order type of situation.
Think about it. I'm listening to these dudes on TV talking about, man, and they ask, hey, have you ever seen? Because that's crazy. Like, when you think about those numbers, over 30 million plus jobs lost in one month. Like, that shit happened in 1 month.
Already.
So when you talking about something going on like that in 1 month, I'm like, The fuck you think all that shit gonna get back? That shit ain't coming back.
Hey, and the recession ain't even, you know what I mean, precedently documented yet. You know what I mean? We just talking about from COVID-19.
Exactly. That's
it.
Just from that.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all.
That's just from that. So that's the big thing, you know what I'm saying, that should be highlighted in terms of our community when I'm talking about, like, how you expect peace and norm in a society that's starved.
No.
Like, I don't understand it. Like, this hit us, this hit our community hard. You know what I'm saying? And now you putting us on the, come on, man, it's gonna be tough.
But see, that's why I get, you know what I mean, I kind of get upset when they start talking about the confirmed, you know what I mean, COVID cases, the death rates and all of that. I mean, it's kind of a distraction of what's getting ready to happen.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? And again, I say, you know what I mean, my soul heart goes out to anybody that's had to deal with, because I know a few people.
Oh yeah,
that's had to deal with, you know what I mean, people dying from the virus, whether it was malfunctions from another, you know what I mean, an already case that they already had or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But bro, you know what I mean, you have to understand something. This COVID shit been going on since what? October? Is that, you know what I mean? I want to say September, October, when they, you know what I mean, first had this shit in Wuhan or what? In Wuhan or whatnot.
Yeah, like October, November. They knew about this shit since late last year.
And my thing is, you know, and my old man says it too, it's like, you got to really understand something, man. Hey, the number of people that die from influenza each year, somewhere between 40, it can be somewhere between 40 and 80,000.
Yeah, but think about it from this standpoint too. When you talk about influenza, you go back to the flu, you know what I'm saying? The first big pandemic back in the early 1900s. Mm-hmm. Our community has always been hit hard in effect.
Always.
Yeah. And the same issues that was going on then during those situations is going on now. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out, like, at some point, I get tired of asking these same questions, like, damn. And at some point, that's when I be looking at, like, damn, at some point, you got to be like, you know what? I got to handle biz for us. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of goes into what I'm talking about in terms of just, we got to start getting back into Black Wall Street mode. Start investing back inside. You know what I mean? Start putting ourselves back into a standpoint the way it's like, you know what, man? Only us gonna do for us.
Hey, it's the glass is half full.
Exactly.
We can either look at this shit here as a, you know what I mean, as a tool of destruction, or we can look at it as a reset button.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Hell, hey, it ain't no secret. Hell, we've been in this is entrepreneurial era anyway.
Oh, facts.
You know what I mean? You're not getting ready to make no money going away to college and you know what I'm saying? Hell, the degrees aren't even the same as they were back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
It's all you gotta have experience nowadays, man.
Yeah.
That's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, to all these, you know what I'm saying, to all kids out there, to all parents with kids who listen to our podcast, man, that's just the honest truth. You know what I'm saying? College, is it needed? Yes, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But at the same time,
education is valuable.
Very valuable. But at the same time, that technical world, yeah, that experience is mattering.
You have to gain skills. You have to gain skills. You know what I mean? You have to gain traits. You have to, hell, you know what I mean? That even just comes down to a sense of survival. You know what I mean? You have to learn things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Your value has to be, you know what I mean, hands-on. It has to be, you have to know something.
That's new. You do.
And master it. You know what I mean? You can't, you know, a jack of all trades is the master of none.
Exactly. And then that's why I'm saying, like, with what's going on now, even for, like, just going back to the education standpoint of what we was talking about earlier, that's what's hurting us. With what's going on with these schools, them just moving kids along and everything like that, man, that's kind of hurting. And it's kind of hurting what's going on in terms of just the necessary skills on what our kids need to be learning what they need, and it's hurting us. And once again, man, it's the same. It's just taking us back. It's just taking us back, man.
Are the kids even equipped to really grasp the things by virtual learning?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Without that interpersonal communication, without that chalkboard and being able to really, you know what I mean, have the teacher right there and be able to, you know what I mean, hey, come and stand by my desk and show me how, you know what I'm saying, 5 minus 3 equals 2.
Exactly. Okay, like I said, how can we virtually learn when half these kids, especially in our communities, don't have the opportunity to virtually learn?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just to let everybody know, man, it's been hitting us hard. It's been hitting the community hard. It's been hitting us hard, man. And like I said, it's tough out here. And it's getting tougher. And we have to start putting ourselves in positions of where we got to start really doing for us. Shaking my head, like I said, it's a segment that we're about to start up to where during the news cycles and everything like that, we hear stories. So when we hear stories, it's like, damn, why the hell is that even still going on? Or why the hell is that even still going on? It's a lot going on that's causing people to shake their head, man. And I definitely got I got one that I definitely want to talk about within that moment. That kind of touches me a little bit that we're going to speak on, man. Matter of fact, we about to go ahead and get into it. So one of the first topics, man, I want to talk about that's really causing me to shake my head. But first, before I get into it, let me just say, like, I just got an alert on my phone. I got the news app or whatever that, you know what I'm saying, they did bring the father and son to justice so far. They have been charged. But it was the moment.
The Georgia case.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. It was
what's his name? Ahmaud
Arbery, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep that man's name on Ahmaud Arbery, man. Even in a pandemic, this is definitely a shaking my head moment. Even in the pandemic, we are still being hunted and targeted out here as Black individuals. If you don't know the story is young man, not too far from his neighborhood, just taking a job, doing what he doing. Some lady called talking about, oh, people been breaking their houses and everything like that. A Black man been breaking their houses. Happened to see this man taking a jog through the neighborhood. So you had 2 white dudes who just in an instant moment feel like, you know what, we seen this man jog past out, or he running. So let's go ahead and do what we got to do to protect our little town. Next thing you know, and it's crazy with the case because he was running. The dudes tried to stop him one time. He avoided them, just jogging another way, and they were still. And it's crazy because you got a person recording it from behind, following him while he's running. So he runs up to the truck, and instinctively so, you see a dude get out the car with a weapon.
He tried to run around the truck.
Exactly. You see a dude getting out the car with a weapon. So he did what anybody would think. I'm thinking I'm about to lose my life, so I'm going to fight this dude with this weapon. So in the midst of him fighting this dude with the weapon, the father who's in the bed of the truck with his shotgun dropped 4 shots and killed his man. And he out here jogging, 25 years old.
He took about try to, you know what I mean, run out. Took about I want to say about 3-4 steps and collapsed.
And collapsed. So that's definitely a shaking my hand moment, man. And if y'all can, man, in the New York Times, man, I got Frat Charles Blow who wrote an opinion article piece on it, and it was one line that I kind of highlighted where he talked about where he said this form of anti-Blackness marks Black masculinity as menacing, and state laws protect the vigilantes' rights to involve their weapons and their power to end lives. That touched me a little bit because I was like, damn, people are really afraid of Black men. And it's like, it's crazy. It's like an instant scared, and they get to use that as a reason to end our life. I say it's crazy.
And they blame it on intimidation. You know what I mean? We are a high intimidation factor.
This man is jogging in his neighborhood. What is the intimidating factor of a man jogging by himself? How can you say this man was robbing? He had nothing on him. Where was he gonna hide the stuff that y'all say he was stealing? This is crazy.
It hits me a certain, a certain kind of way, Chuck, because I've had instances of police brutality. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like, for the listeners, man, I've been tased by the police. You know what I mean? I've been tased. Hey, they tased me. You know what I mean? And swarmed around me and said, "Hey, roll over and put your hands behind your back." And I'm trying to put my hands behind my head, hit me with it again. You know what I'm saying? I've been maced by the police. You know what I mean? With no fault of my own, to the point where, like literally held the pepper spray, maybe, so far away from that far away from my face to where it ate up all the skin, just open sores, man. So the police brutality thing is kind of because dude, if I'm not mistaken, he was a retired police officer, the father.
Yeah, the father. Yeah, just retired.
You know what I mean? It's just,
and the crazy thing is, even though they just charged him, this happened back in February. This is May 7th. Think about that.
And we just now really, getting word about it.
Think about that, people. Think about that, listeners. This happened in February of this year. It is May 7th. Now they're starting to highlight it because a video came out. If a video probably would have never came out, you would have never heard of this because of this pandemic that's been going on. So you got a lot of people doing racist shit. On the strength of, let me hide up under what's going on with this pandemic because ain't nobody paying attention. No, we paying attention. Trust and believe. Because another shaking my head moment. You got a state legislator in Illinois, in your state, AG. This man walk out the store
with the mask on.
With the mask on.
That he's mandated to wear in public.
Yeah. And gloves, and you had a cop stop him and said, "You look like you was up to something. Are you serious? What am I up to? I'm up to protecting myself from this damn COVID-19.
I'm forced that I am being, socially distant, correct, and I'm following all the protocols. Yeah, my mask is a little decorated, but."
And I seen I'm in Texas, so I seen a bunch of white people with decorated masks.
Ooh, I'm surprised I ain't seen no Confederate masks.
You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody stopping nobody. So it's crazy. Like, even in a pandemic, y'all still find ways to attack our culture.
Hey, now I got a shaking my head moment. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer. Yeah. Hey, you give due to where it's due, but I have to, kind of talk about us for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because last weekend was kind of ugly, bro. We had that 80 degree Saturday. You know what I mean? And my homeboy, he had posted it. I'm in Chicago. You know what I mean? I knew how they, was out in Chicago. I mean, everybody's out during this pandemic. You know what I mean? Regardless if it's government conspiracy or if it's, a true health risk or whatever, you know what I mean? Right now, hell, you know what I mean? Shit, we shelter in place. You're supposed to be in the house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my shaking my head moment is the fact that I witnessed on Facebook that we all out hanging, and you know what I mean? We already supposed to be in the house. Okay, and I ain't knocking nobody for wanting to get out and get some fresh air. You know what I'm saying? I ain't knocking nobody want to get out and ride a little bit. Hell, I'm tired of sitting in the house too. You know what I mean? Hell, that's what. Hey, my tires is COVID cool, just like the rest of our listeners right now. You know what I mean? This is what I'm quarantined in. But you want to get out, but damn, you get out and get an inch and take a mile. You out there brawling. You out there fighting. And my the ultimate is the little 16-year-old girl that got shot in the face from a straight bullet and died last Saturday. Because we was trying to get out and get some fresh air, and we couldn't control ourselves. We could not control ourselves. As evil as I think that, things can be, and people can be towards us, I have to, take a moment and realize how reckless and ratchet we can be too. It's just like, man, like damn, right now it's a mandated effect. Sit your ass down and be cool. I understand the reality is harsh. I understand that we dealing with other things, man, but to deal with, things that, or people that, lose lives or whatnot from our own carelessness just does not sit well with me, bro.
I'm with you. And
it does not sit well with me at all.
And just to let our listeners know, man, this is what we do this show for, man. Just to kind of highlight certain things going on and everything that's affecting our communities and our culture. But at the same time, we ain't gonna condone the ignorant shit that's taking our culture back.
I don't know.
That's not going to happen.
One thing for sure, man. I hate the fact that, we get treated like animals.
Facts.
But two things for certain. I can't be mad at a motherfucker for treating me like an animal if I act like one.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And to me, it's just that simple. It shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even have to go no deeper than that.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So it is just that simple, in my opinion. Like I said, we about ours. We about uplifting ours and everything. You know what I'm saying, to the T. But at the same time, man, y'all out here acting crazy. We gonna speak on it and we gonna let it be known. You know what I'm saying? We don't condone that. We don't condone it at all.
Hey, I want this, man. When this, it goes around the black community often. That during the wintertime months. That hey, all right, wintertime. When the spring and summer hit, they're gonna be unruly and rowdy for a little bit. Let it die off.
Mm-hmm. It's
gonna be tenfold after this COVID shit.
Oh yeah. Facts.
Especially if it lets up, mid-summer. I just want everybody, because if the past couple of weeks, hell with the, hey, Lord, rest in peace to the police officer, the police lady that was shot and killed in Indianapolis, the postal worker. If these are only, minor glimpses of what is to come, I just want everybody to, hey, man, really kind of think about it. Take the time right now while we forced to sit down, man. Call your little cousin and them. Call your little nephew. It ain't no secret, man. Little cousins, a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Call them and talk to them, man.
Sit back and evaluate, man. This is what this time is actually, to me, this is what this time is actually for us, man.
It's to strengthen and not destroy.
Exactly. Let's take this time, man, and just start communicating more with each other. Start understanding the importance of each other and why we need each other.
Right.
That's what it's
about. Learn yourself.
Exactly.
It may be the harshest reality that you have to deal with, but deal with that.
Exactly.
In order to come out this situation a better person.
Exactly.
Not just better for you, better for your loved ones, better for your kids. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Come out of this with some type of growth and development.
Exactly.
Yeah, we always talking about, I wish I had a break anyway. I wish I, had a couple of weeks. Well, you forced to take a few weeks off now. Utilize it wisely.
Shoot, now we got it.
You got it.
We got it. It's just that simple. We got
Straight
it.
Up.
Take care of each other, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to end on that note, man. But we want to thank y'all, man. This was the show, just talking about just stuff going on with this COVID-19 and our community as a whole.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Let's take care of each other, man. We want to thank y'all too. We getting good feedback on the show, man. We're gonna keep giving y'all good positive content, man, as we continue.
And we appreciate the feedback from everybody, y'all.
Great, precious.
I appreciate the feed. Hey, on another note, I gotta tell them the good news.
What's good?
We recently had a conference call. Our first establishment of sponsorship. So I think we are doing something. Hey, that's a pat on the back for us. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey, that somebody enjoyed our content enough to say, hey, I want to throw some sponsorship in. So, you know what I mean? Hey,
exactly. We're going to continue to grow, man. That's all we can do, man. We're going to keep it positive and especially keep it positive for the coach. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, we continue to appreciate the support, man. And we just hope y'all just keep appreciating the content that we giving out here, man. And what we got coming up, man. Just let them know how they can contact us, AG.
You can find us on just about all major podcast platforms. Directly, you can reach out to us, Big Money No Problems Casting at gmail.com, Big Money No Problems Entertainment on Facebook, Big Money No Problems Entertainment Instagram. We have a Big Money No Problems LinkedIn account. Hey, we're multifaceted. Yeah, we're all around. You know what I mean? You can reach us. We're up and coming. Hey, if you got a topic that you would like for us to discuss, shoot an email.
Let us know.
You know what I mean? Follow us. Hey, just say it. You know what I mean? We have no problem with it. Hey, we're gonna say what we want to do, what we feel on this bit.
You already know. You know
Straight up.
So once again, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the listeners, man. Check for us. You know what I'm saying? Next week too, we got some guests coming up soon too. So just stay tuned in. That's all I'm gonna say. Just stay tuned in, man.
Stay tuned.
All right. Everybody stay blessed and stay safe, man. One love.
Yep. Much love to you. Peace.
All right.